Hello and welcome to the show. In true FailRace tradition, we have started a filming thing and it is the dead of night. And it started to rain. I mean, at least there's some pretty fireworks going on in the distance. Today, we are racing 100 horsepower cars. Yes, everything you see here is going to be running 100 horsepower or less. In fact, a fair few of the cars will be running less than that because they are not allowed to exceed D class. Normally, or the past, we've done weight limits on these, but there are no weight limits in this today. Your car can be as light as possible. That's how we have an Isetta in the mix. But yeah, they can't exceed 100 horsepower. They've got to be in D class. There's also a Reliant, there's an MG, a Mini, 2CV, I think Datsun in all of the glare, many rally lights on a Fiesta, a backwards Bugatti, a camper van, and I have a classic Porsche. So yeah, we're going to tackle some various races and see who has made the best use of their 100 horsepower. So here we are on the circuit for our first round. We've come to the Ambleside village track. This, the shortest, most technical circuit pretty much in the game. It's going to test the handling. It's going to test the handling of the vehicle, which is hopefully going to be these kind of cars. Well, strong point, I would imagine. Most of them are going to be very light. Most of them are going to have an awful lot of grip. I can't quite get full race tyres in my car. We've got 79 horsepower in this. I wanted an amount. I wanted, to be as close to the 100 as I could get. If I went for race tyres, they're going to be very restricted. I think I missed that, didn't I? Oh, we got away with that amazingly well. I don't know how we got away with that, but we did. We're going to, be a lot more oversteery than I thought. That is an oversteery Porsche. Why are you such an oversteery bugger? It's not great, not going to lie. I'd rather have not have had an oversteery Porsche. They are as skinnier sport tyres as I could get on it. Again, compromises had to be made. Compromises very much had to be made in this. There's going to be a Bugatti having a sniff up the inside. I'm going to try and give him space. Now I'm hoping that I'm going to have better straight line speed than some of these cars around me, and certainly better acceleration. I think I'm holding everyone up. The Morris is having all sorts of issues as well over there. So now we're onto the straight. Bugatti does seem to be struggling a little bit once we get onto the faster areas. You see in here, this is where the Porsche does come relatively good. I was up the inside, I'm sorry. With 3 wide, it's not going to fit. I've not got the grip to make it fit. The front of the Isetta is actually running away at the front of this, because of course it is. Every time I turn into a corner, this car just goes massively sideways. I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. This is a fun use of 79 horsepower and just shy of 100 torque. Get out of the way, Morris. I don't think I've really got the speed of the Datsun around this circuit. However, I do think I'm a little faster than the Morris. We'll let that do the cleaning of the track. Things like signposts will really slow you down when your car weighs as little as these do. Mine weighs under 1,400 pounds. So when this hits something, you lose a lot of momentum. And of course, there's not the power to get accelerating almost out the other side. I think I wanted second. The Fiesta's going to get me. I've not got... I mean, I might if I get a better run. I had a very poor run onto that. The Fiesta's got oversteer. Not as much as me! Slidey Porsche. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I've got things a little bit wrong up here, and now everyone behind is catching. Stop oversteering, you bloody car. It's the most oversteery thing I've built, considering how teeny tiny the power output is. Oh, we're going to go side by side still with the Morris. I can't find a way around. I might get passed by the Bugatti. I think the MG's with us as well in all of this. Oh, going to clobber our way through that. Oh, the MG is up into a 7th position. I was going to try and line myself up for a pass on the Morris again. It's not really working here. The MG's having a look up the inside. The MG might get both of us. I'm hoping I can get the MG on acceleration out here. Nope. I think everything is going to go past us, and we'll have to work to try and regain all of our positions. Yeah, my lack of rear-end grip is a bit of a problem. I think on a circuit like this, we are going to keep our position from the Bugatti. We'll round that one up. We might actually sneak up the inside. It's been a brilliant race. It's been an absolutely brilliant race. At a longer circuit, I think the Porsche may come into its own a little bit more. I'm not sure it's quite up there with the Datsun and the Fiesta, but this is the fun little group of cars. Hey, nope, big oversteer from the Porsche. And Party Bus! Party Bus has come to join us with 3 wide. I'm going to fall all the way to the back, I think. I've been a little bit, I say, muscled out of this. I've been a little bit sort of stuck out of this. I think the Party Bus is very fast. May well have missed a checkpoint at some point along the way to have fallen back into the clutches of this group. Party Bus can crash through walls. That has no trouble with going past them. I've had all those final corners. All manners of terrible. They're all manners of complete and utter terribleness. Well, the final lap. I mean, the bus is going to beat us. The Isetta is fighting quite closely with the Mini. I mean, well, no, the Isetta's not sensible. Mini is definitely a very sensible option around here. This circuit does not work for my Porsche. It is me and the Bugatti are having fun and sideways times at the back of the field. Yeah, I mean the Porsche might work on a faster circuit. It did have a pretty good launch. Oh, there's been a kerfuffle. The Morris is in the wall. Bugatti's going to go through it thanks to the car being in ghost mode. I might give it a nudge. No. I want to beat the Morris. I want to beat the Morris. We might be able to get underneath it. Come on, Porsche. Use that great 79 horsepower. We are past the minor. Now we've just got... No! No! Why would you betray me so? You silly oversteering car. We're going to come home in 8th place. Maybe I shouldn't have gone second. Maybe I shouldn't have gone the second gear. You silly, silly oversteering machine. Yeah, it didn't really work around that circuit. The Party Bus was stupendously fast. Must have missed a checkpoint to have ended up at the back. Didn't see what happened. We had fun. We had great fun midfield tussle. So, we move on to the Broadway Village Circuit for our next race. I did realise I hadn't put a, upgraded diff in the Porsche. So, in between races, I quickly went and put one of those on the car. We shouldn't have any one-tyre fires. I don't know whether it's going to calm down the horrendously Larry oversteer. But it might give me a little more control. That's what we're hoping for here. In all honesty, I don't think we are going to be fighting our way up at the front particularly. I think there are better cars in here. But I'm hoping for a little bit better luck here. The MG does not seem to be massively fast. Like, this circuit may well suit the Porsche a little bit more. We are actually turning into a corner and we don't have horrendous oversteer. That is good news. The Bugatti is terrible off the line. We are still oversteery, but we don't have as bad a oversteer as we had before. Bugatti is horrendous off the line, but it does pick up speed pretty well. Could be gearbox related in all of that. We're trying to go around an Anglia, which is not going to work at this particular moment in time. It's going to buzz around on the rear bumper of the Anglia. Excuse me kindly, Ford. You are in the way. I would like an overtake. At some point would be nice. The problem is we're all going to... If you get stuck fighting... I mean, this is always the way when we're doing this kind of racing. 100 horsepower or less in quite a few of these cars' cases. Momentum is absolutely key. Momentum is absolutely key. And if you lose it, if you're stuck in a fight like this, you are in an awful, awful lot of trouble. And there's not so much you can do about it. I think the Datsun's probably the slowest car here at a straight line. Bugatti is trying to have a go at the Anglia. I'm going to have a look around the outside into turn 1. It's not going to work. They're going to bump each other a little bit wide. The camper van has gone berserk around the outside of everybody, although a little bit of lag has not really helped matters. The Bugatti has got away. The camper van has got insane grip. The problem is the camper van is the slowest. I mean, it's a barn, really, let's face it, around these corners. Basically scraping the floor as well. Oh, up there! There is a Porsche. There was a Porsche-sized gap. I cannot move really across there. There was a Porsche-sized gap in all of that for us to put our Porsche in. The Anglia's got off to find the wall. We're back through the middle of a 3-wide still. Well, let's put us back to the front of this little... We are basically fighting in the battle for race... Well, about race 3. There's a couple of cars at the front. There's another group in the middle. And then there is... race 3 that is our little group. Hey, I mean, as long as our little group has a fun race, I don't really care all that much. The Datsun, I feel like I might have had chance to fight with the Datsun a little bit had we not got into, well, the really big squabbles early on. That does look like it's struggling a lot down these longer straights. It's fighting with the Isetta. We are a long way off. We're not got the pace of the Mini. I'll be honest, not really surprised. The Mini is going to be very small, very light. I think it's on race. I think it's got 100 horsepower and is on certainly sport tyres, if not race tyres. That's going to be pretty damn good. The Isetta is starting to fall back a little bit. That's likely to have issues with straight line speed. It will be one of the least powerful cars here. Of course, can't engine swap the Isetta. Nothing here is going to have an engine swap because the engines you can go to have less than 100 horsepower, so you've got to make the most of the vehicle's standard engine. Well, around here, the Isetta's about 50 or something horsepower. It's not going to be enough for straight line speed. Acceleration wise it works because it's so damn light, but around here where we have got much longer straights, that may be a little bit of a problem. The Bugatti has got up to a 7th place with the camper van. Enjoyed the twisty circuits, not enjoying the fast. I mean, these kind of cars, it's not flat out everywhere, but it's quite close in some places. I don't really know if I want to change gear up this hill. Kind of okay in 3rd. Keep an eye on the Bugatti. The Anglia has vanished off the bottom of this group. In fact, the Datsun and Isetta, now they're not fighting each other, have actually pulled away from me a little bit. I've overdriven that corner, although I've got on the final lap. It was worth a try to see what we could do, but no, didn't work. Didn't work in all of that. We're going to come up towards the final turn with our Porsche. Make sure we're neat and tidy through there, which we are. Can the Bugatti outrun us to the line? I don't think so. I think we are going to take the position with our interestingly green Porsche. What was the far? I'm curious about lap times. Yeah, not that far off the Datsun. Mini can't be touched. Not around. Not around there. It's good for us lot at the back. It's good for us lot at the back. All fairly close. It's too much messing around in the early part. However, it was good fun messing around in the early part. Well, we have a wheel spin for levelling up, and naturally, field luck has been fairly good. Will it continue? Yeah, it continues to at least get me a car. It's not a massively exciting car, but I quite like the new VXR Astras, so yeah, it's not too bad. So, we are going for a point-to-point race. Up next, we will be running around, kind of around the hills, around the mountain areas. There are some connection issues going on. This could be a tough road, really, for some of these cars. Some of these vehicles are going to have potentially a little bit more of a tough time. Starting from pole, which is good. And I do seem to get one of the better launches here. I'm probably not the very best launching car. Imagine the Isetta's pretty quick off the line. My 0 to 60, I'm not as good as the Insano-like cars, like the Reliant or the Isetta. I'm better than the rest in terms of getting to 60. Once we do hit 60, we struggle. The Isetta will eventually run out of power to accelerate anymore. I mean, this is quite a big circuit, really, for these cars. They've only been tasked up till now with the more technical of layouts. Now, Reliant is actually surprisingly fast here. I will give it that. That Reliant is surprisingly decent. I think my Porsche might have initial off-the-line acceleration and then might struggle elsewhere, like getting out of corners. It's kind of like second gear acceleration. I don't think is particularly great in the Porsche. I mean, nudging won't help. It might help in the right place. Oh god, there's hills! I need some beautiful slipstream. I need a lot more beautiful slipstream than that. Yeah, there's some quite nasty hills for these vehicles to contend with. The camper van is fighting further back. The Datsun's probably not enjoying this particular circuit. If we get some downhill stuff, we might actually pass 100 miles an hour eventually. It's quite difficult to do such a thing, but we did get there in the end. Oh, I don't know if my gear ratios are helping in this. I didn't go for an upgraded gearbox because I was quite short on PI with this car. There really was not much PI to play around with in the Porsche, so I didn't go for a gearbox, and I couldn't adjust the gear ratios, although to be fair I wouldn't know what to adjust them to because you don't really know what circuits you'd be going at The Bugatti may well be the fastest of all of us top speed-wise. It struggles to get going to its top speed, but it is still going as it drives past me. We are pulling away from the Isetta on this part of the course. The Reliant is actually really good in terms of top speed. I didn't think I'd say that, but the Reliant has done really, really well in terms of its top speed. Yeah, it's got the stabilisers on to stop it from wobbling its way over, but it's done good stuff with its top speed. I think it is maybe running out of top speed a little bit around here. We are starting to, the Fiesta is starting to catch it, Bugatti is starting to catch it. I had a little bit of a dodgy corner. I can't imagine the Isetta is much fun to drive around these, what are now pretty high-speed turns. Oh god, we're going to have to start accelerating on hills again. I don't like the sound of that or the look of that. I'm going to go in the fence because I've not got the grip to take that corner with that sort of pace. No. I am not that good in terms of grip in my car, sadly. The sport tyres are okay. I'm not sure the 365? I think I remember the name of my own car. I'm not sure this was the way to be going here. It is not the Reliant, unfortunately, leading the way anymore. The Fiesta is going to take that position. I'm going to be doing the slidings because my car is an oversteering mess. The Isetta up on its side because, of course, it is. Let's just try and... I've got to chuck the car in pretty hard, but I don't know quite at what point it's going to have the back end let go. This is probably the strongest showing for the Porsche. I think fourth is about fair. Is about where the car is in the field. I think we've got a little bit more speed than those behind us, if I don't make any silly mistakes. Yeah, we're going to pull away now. And now we get onto the flat. The Fiesta is going to take victory. The Reliant, I've got to say, did a lot better than I would have thought it would do here. That actually got a surprisingly good amount of speed. The Bugatti will take third. I'll beat the Isetta, beat the MG. The Datsun is never likely to be a big fan around here, neither the VW camper. To finish off our racing with the 100 horsepower cars, we have come to Edinburgh, come to the city circuit, station circuit is in fact to give it its full name. We've got another 356 as well. We've got the hardtop version going to come and join in the fun of this one. It's probably not going to be a great track for my car. We're probably going to be fighting at the back, but it's okay. We have another Porsche, at least, to compare with. I'm going to be honest, this is probably not my best built 100 horsepower. I've never actually had much luck with the whole 100 horsepower racing. I've had some okay cars, but I've never really had a massively fast one. I didn't want to go through that. I was trying to go to the outside and avoid it, but it didn't really work. Yeah, you don't want to hit these posts in your small, lightweight car. Oh, that's going to be a lot of stacking up on the outside of that corner. Go away, bicycle, please. All sorts of debris being carted down the road. The MG's up on its side. I would love some more rear end grip. I would absolutely love some more rear end grip in the Porsche. I mean, I'd love some more grip overall, but yeah, the rear end grip is the car's big Achilles heel. I think speed-wise, as we saw at that last race, it's pretty up there for top end. And off the line, it is actually one of the faster, bar some of the very silly small light cars. The Party Bus is leading the way. We're not falling off the back of the pack, which is okay. In fact, it's Party Bus leading Isetta, leading the other Porsche, leading this big gaggle of cars, and I'm coming up to find a way, maybe, to have a look at the MG. I mean, I was trying to be sort of neat and tidy through there, and everyone dumped bits of debris on top of my car. We are going to... through a gap. Nope, we got through the gap of the scenery. We just hit both bits of the scenery rather than just focusing on one and hitting that. Porsche is about to get mugged up ahead with a Mini. Oh, I've got no grip to do that. I'm very sorry. Yeah, I mean, they were out of grip on the outside of us as well. I've not got the grip. This is not a good. Much like the first circuit was not a good track for my car. This is equally not a particularly great track. In fact, the other Porsches gradually come back to say hello. Suggests that it's probably not good for either of us particularly. I'm trying to be sort of neater through these turns if I can. What I'm trying to do is I clonk the wall. I'm trying to use as little steering input as I can. I'm trying to get through the corner with as little steering input because I know how much we're struggling with this and how much we're struggling with the rear end of this as well. But it's not really working, sadly, for my car in the way that I would like it to. The zebra crossing posts, whatever they're called, I can take those out, and they don't actually slow down the vehicle all that much. Ninetales got very, very close to missing a checkpoint, and I don't know whether they did or not. No, they somehow got away with it. Oh, look! There's two of them. The Mini missed a checkpoint, as did... Oh, yeah, I did not hit the wall this time. We might get a run on the Bugatti, but I'm going to have to do things the hard way, and I really don't want to have to try to go around the outside of the Bugatti. We might be able to do this. The Bugatti was on the grass, bouncing across the inside. Here comes the MG. It's a fight for fifth. I mean, I don't really deserve any higher than this. The cars up ahead have been immensely quicker than I. Yeah, it's funny. I say it's funny. We come here and the Datsun's doing much better. The party bus is very quick. The party bus was immensely fast. It's the first circuit was unlucky to, I presume, have missed a checkpoint. Oh, it's 3 wide. Oh no! Bugatti's going to get us again. No. I would say we worked so hard. We got lucky, really, at being in a position to go around the outside of you. But you know, there we go. I'm not going to do anything there. The MG's actually got pretty good speed through the corner, but ended up hitting one of the big, I guess, like metal posts that you definitely don't want to hit. Some more track furniture goes flying. The mailbox is gone. I've not got the speed of that Bugatti. Now, that's not a bad idea across there, if you've got the grip to get away with it. The Bugatti still clonked the fence, but it's just so much quicker than me everywhere else around it. Don't hit the big iron posts, I presume. Oh no, instead hit the grass and lose every bit of momentum. Well, there goes our 6th place. There's no speed in the car if you hit that particular part. I was trying slightly different lines. Yeah, we need a much more wide open circuit if I'm going to do well with my Porsche. The Mini, with its missed checkpoint, has fallen back, as has the other. The other Porsche was not... I got that corner all wrong, trying to make up time. Yeah, I mean, the Mini's probably the fastest overall car here. Unlucky in this final race. This race has gone terribly for me at the end. Yeah, I didn't need to quite have pushed it so hard. I have the speed advantage down the straight on the MG, but yeah, it was no good. That Mini is immensely quick. It's going to be a terrible finish for me in the end with the Porsche. Yeah, not the best 100 horsepower car for me. They're better than the other 356, but still not particularly great. Needs a much bigger circuit for it to really shine. The twisty stuff is scary. The Assetto still gets a podium in all of this mayhem. In fact, it was the Volkswagen with the fastest lap of the race. That's with the handling, weirdly, of the camper van. But there we go. 100 horsepower racing, an interesting thing to have a go with, especially by forcing the class restrictions being D class, meaning race tyres are a interesting conundrum. I think you're probably going to want it for most instances. However, there may be, outside, we ignore the Mini being a bit OP, there may be some depending on the circuit, some caveats to your selection of tyres, whether you're wanting the race or whether you're wanting, you know, the sport tyres and power, or sport tyres with a car that's lighter to try and get that acceleration out of the 100 horsepower, essentially. It's an interesting challenge. And on this game, of course, we've got more cars than we ever did have to choose from for running in this kind of event. Yeah, it's cars that start off with less than 100 horsepower. Our wheel spin luck, it is poor. It is poor on that one. Shouldn't have bothered. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.